Hi, Bill Ham here, and today I want to talk to you about creating value for investors and partners. I know this is a question I get a lot of times is, I'm new to real estate and I need partners, I need investors. How am I going to create value for an investor or for someone that might come in and help me get started in this business? And so today's lesson is going to be about creating value for our investors. There's lots of ways we can do that, especially if you're new to the business. I suggest starting with an education. I don't mean like college or high school, I mean a real estate education. Spend your time reading books, spend your time watching videos like this, spend your time gathering as much information as you can, because that information is going to be one of the first ways that we bring value to investors, because you're going to lack experience. And that's going to be one of your major pushbacks. Hey, why should I invest with you? Why should I do business with you when you're new, when you haven't done this before? Well, that's when you're going to say, you're right, I haven't done this before. Don't fake it till you make it. It's really easy to spot somebody faking it in this business. So admit that you are inexperienced and then discuss your education. Discuss what it is that you've been learning and studying and use that to bring credibility to yourself until you actually go out and get some of your first deals done. Remember, your first deal is only your first deal once. It's only your first deal until it isn't, right? So just study. When I first got started in real estate, I spent 1 year studying before I ever did my first deal. So I strongly recommend that you start with an education. That's one of the best ways to bring value to an investor or to a partner. One of the second greatest ways that we can bring value to an investor or to a partner is relationships. So if you spend the time and the energy building relationships in a market, and relationships with realtors, relationships with sellers, relationships with other equity investors, those relationships are invaluable. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, and so I have great realtor relationships and great relationships with investors and people here in the Georgia market and around the Atlanta market, but I don't really know anybody out in, say, California or Washington or something like that. I have had partners and investors come from the other side of the country and say, hey, we would like to establish our business in Atlanta. Can you be our partner? Can you help us? Why? Because of the third reason, boots on the ground. So if you are in a good market or a market that other investors want to be in, you're bringing value simply because you are on the ground. And that's how you can go and establish those relationships. That's how you can go out and start meeting these realtors. So if you're new to business, you're new to real estate, and you don't have a ton of cash to bring value to an investor, you can use skills, you can use time and energy, or what we call sweat equity, to actually bring some of that value. Start with the education, then move to relationships with investors or other realtors, sellers in that market. And then lastly, one of the greatest ways we can bring value to an investor when we're new to the business, find a deal. Learn how to find deals. Learn how to analyze deals. What's a good deal? How do we know when we're looking at a deal, right? That's how we really want to bring value, is learn deal analysis and to be able to know what is a good deal. That's one of the greatest ways you can bring value to new investors. I'll give you a tip. I can tell you everything that you need to know about real estate in one sentence. And here it is. Know the values in your area and look at more deals than anybody else. That's it. If you know what things are worth in your area and you go out and look at more deals than anybody else, than any of your competition, you win. And that is how you can really start to bring value to investors, by going out, identifying assets, spending your time and energy, being on the street, knowing what is a good deal. And when you find one, then you go out and you reach out to these investors and to these partners. And that is how a new investor can get started in multifamily, can get started in any kind of real estate where they don't have a lot of cash and maybe they don't have a lot of experience. Study, network, and spend your time out there, outpacing the competition, looking for deals, and you will create value for new investors in the business. This is Bill Ham. If this has helped you, give me a like, a follow, a subscribe, and we'll be bringing out more information shortly.